G'day guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing the rear seat setup. I'm going to be taking out my back seats and I'll fit out with some MDF, some drawers and cupboards, and then I'll line it all with some carpet. I've just been to Bunnings and picked it all up, so I'll play some clips of everything that I got and the final cost of it all. So cheers. Alrighty guys, this is everything I got. I got 4 sheets of the MDF that's 16mm thick, 2.4 long by 1.2 wide. I got 4 meters of this carpet, and that's 2 meters wide. I got staple gun, 2 of the soft closed drawer slides, some chipboard screws, 2 full overlay hinges for the cupboards, 2 recessed handles, and the total cost of it all was $290, so it's pretty good considering. I'll show you how I go about taking my seats out now and start setting this up. Alrighty guys, I've just finished cleaning out the back seats. First thing you want to do is drop the back right, and then there's going to be 5 17mm nuts at the back. 3 of them are for the seats, 2 of them are for the seatbelt clips. So I'm leaving the seatbelt clips in just because I'm going to keep them in for when I build the seat, the drawers. So there's 1 at each end and then 1 in the middle. Then you chuck this back up, and then the ones underneath are 14mm, so switch over to a 14. There'll be 1 under here, one on this middle bit. Take these covers off, and then there's one here. Yeah, that should be everything. Now that I've taken them out, I'll give it a good clean and start taking some measurements to plan out the drawers. The idea is that the drawers will be here. There'll be some cupboards with the 12-volt setup at the back, and then some floor storage here. Try to use as much of the space as possible. Alright, I've just finished cleaning all the back bit out. Now I've just got to take this sub out that I had under the back seats, and I'll have to disconnect all this and rerun it, because when I build the cupboards at the back I want to mount it up here, so hopefully there's enough cable there to get that done. Alrighty, I've just finished undoing that sub and amp. I've got plenty of cable to reach up here now, so that should be good. And now I'm just going to start taking some measurements for making my drawers first. Then I'll take some measurements for the floor area and the back bit. Alrighty guys, it's now the next day. We've just given this back firewall a big clean because we're going to put some sound deadener on. We got some of this stuff from Autobarn. It's about 20 bucks for a litre, and we're going to do 1 to 3 coats of that just to stop the sound coming through. They recommend using a thick bristle brush, so I've just got this cheap one for now, and sort of just chuck it on nice and thick. I'm not going to be too picky with it just because you're not going to see back here anyway, because we were driving around last night without any of this in and it was very loud, so definitely had to do something about that. Alrighty, we've just finished doing all the sound deadening. We did around 2 coats. Just did pretty thick coats though. So we'll wait for that to dry and then we'll start doing the base for the fit out. Alrighty, the first piece I've cut is just to pack this up here, because this little bit here sits about 20 mil higher than the base here. So I cut it 300 by 1200, and I'm just gonna paint it black and then screw it down to there, so that when the drawers go on here, it'll sit at the same height and won't want to sit on an angle. So I'll spray this quickly, screw that in, and then I'll start building the drawers. It's sort of hard to see, but this is the rough plan and measurements for the setup. It'll be drawer, drawer, cupboard, cupboard, and then that's just going to be a flat panel with the sub on it. That one will have all the 12 volt gear in it, and that'll have shelves for some storage. And then the fridge is going to sit up top here, and there'll be a bit of room left on this side for whatever. Alright, we've just done a test fit of the back box bit. So that's where the 12 volt will be, storage over there, and then this is the sub box. So it sits tight in there, and then there'll be plastic covering that there, just clear plastic. And then the drawers are going to screw to here and come out down and down there. Alrighty, so now that I know it all fits in the back, I'm going to chuck a sidewall in here just so that all this storage area doesn't fall through to there, and then I was originally going to do some shelves in here, but I'm now just going to leave that all open, and I'll probably screw in like a little cargo net so that it'll hold everything tight. And just in that cavity will just be a little storage. So I'll do that now, and then after I do that, I'm going to pull it all apart, carpet line it, and then I'll get ready to start putting in the cupboard doors. And then I'll be done with this area and I'll go into the drawers. Alright, that wall's in there now, so it just goes straight down. There's a hole there and a hole there just to run the cable through for the sub, but that's pretty much the finished product for that. Now I just got to pull it apart, carpet the whole thing, screw it together, and then do the cupboard doors. Alright, it's all been disassembled now. I'm going to start cutting up pieces of that carpet and just laying them individually. This is the stuff I got from Autobarn. It's just a headliner adhesive. You spray it on both surfaces and then let it sit for like a couple of minutes, and then you stick it together. Alright, so these are the first two pieces I'm going to do. That's the back, and then that's the bottom. These will be the easiest ones just because you're not going to see the other side of them, so I can lay it however I want to and not have to tidy it up too much. So I'll cut off around 1300mm of that and start getting into it. Just clean both surfaces well so that they can stick properly. Alrighty, so I've got these roughly cut out. The other side's been stuck, and now I'm just going to cut off the excess, fold this edge around like that, and staple it from this side. I'll pick up the camera once it's all done. Alrighty, it's a little bit dirty, but that's the back wall complete. Come up really well, nice tight edges and everything, so that'll be good. Now I just got to do this bottom piece, and then I'll keep doing all those bits there, and then that'll probably do me for tonight. I'm sort of just taking my time with this, so it'll probably be spread over a few days, but you're better off taking your time doing it right. Alright, I've just finished laying all the carpet on all these pieces. I'll film me putting it all together, and then I'll show you how it come up. Alrighty guys, I've just finished putting all this bit together. I'm sorry for the big jump in videos, but my phone died and I'm on my own, so I sort of just wanted to get a bit of it done. I'll film the process of how I've been laying the carpet just for these two doors, just so you guys are getting an idea. But you'll see this whole side will be for the 12 volt DC and an inverter, and then down there is heaps of room for a 170 amp slimline battery. Got the sub and amp recessed into there. Still got to put some plastic in there, or some like nice stuff in there just to tidy that up. And on this right side is just all storage, so it's all carpet lined the whole way around, and there'll be a cargo net in there, and then down the bottom will just be for whatever. So yeah, that's it so far. Shout out to the misso for getting me some macas to keep me going. It's about 9:30, so I've been doing this for about 5 hours tonight. Alrighty guys, I'll show you how I've been doing this carpet laying. So I've got this stuff, and I've just been spraying it all the way over the top edge of whatever you're covering. And then spraying it over the carpet. And then you let that sit for about 5 minutes, and then it goes all tacky, and then we'll flip that over and I'll show you that bit as well. Alrighty, I've just let that sit for a few minutes. Now I grab it and flip it onto the carpet. You just want to push down and then flip that whole thing over. And just make sure it's nice and pushed down. And then once that's all pushed down, flip it back over. And then you want to spray around all the edges. And now let that sit for another few minutes. Alrighty, because I'm doing these doors nice and neat, because you'll see the inside of them, I've got to make sure that I cut this evenly the whole way around. So I'm going to use this ruler as a reference for about 35mm. And just get a sharp knife. Alrighty guys, it's the next day again. I just got another can of this stuff. And I also got some of these little bungee straps and buttons just to screw onto the cupboards here. Just to hold them. And I'm about to finish doing this second door. And then I'll spray that and chuck it on. And then I'll chuck this in the back seats. Alright, I just finished chucking the back section in. It's sitting in there nice and snug. Got the sub in, it's all wired up, run the wires down the side there all the way to the front. And then inside here, you can't really see, but the wire just runs along the bottom edge of that. Now onto the drawers. Alright, I'm about to start screwing the whole drawer setup together, and then I'll pull that apart once it's all perfect, and I'll carpet line that, and then I'll have to make up the internal boxes for the drawers and chuck on the drawer slides and the handles, and then it should be good. Alright, I've got the main part of the drawers done now. Just got to chuck a back on it, and then I'll do a test fit in the car and then pull it apart and carpet it. Alright, I've just put the drawer box in there. That's how it sits. I reckon it's slightly too high, so I'm going to pull it out and just take about 50mm off each upright, because it's a bit tight to these doors as well, so it might hit when it's opening. Alright, I've just finished laying all the carpet on the carcass of the drawers, and now I'll start cutting out the inside pieces. Alright, I've just started chucking in the drawer slides. I've got this little offcut of the MDF that I'm using just to sitting them out the same amount. It's roughly 50mm. I'll just push that hard against there, 25mm back from the edge, and then screw it in. And then I'll do that on all four, and then I'll chuck the drawers in. Alright, all four drawer slides are in, and now I'll just take the measurements between inside there up to here, and that'll give me the outside dimensions for the drawer boxes. Alright, I've just finished cutting all the pieces for the drawers. I've got the four sides there, the four front and back pieces there, and then they're the very front pieces that'll get carpet lined. All them will just stay normal. So I'll screw them together now, and then I'll start carpet lining the front piece and put the handles on. Finished making both boxes up. Now I just got to put the front piece on with the carpet and then chuck them in. I've just got to lay the carpet on these two front pieces and the handles. The drawers have been screwed into the sliders, and then that'll be it for tonight. For the handles, I've just got these flush pulls that I'm going to router out using that. which is like, I think it was 150 by 40 and it's 10mm deep. I've just gone dead center on both. Let's just finish putting it all together, handles on and everything. This is the final thing. Heaps of storage. So now just gotta chuck them in the back seats, and I'll screw it into that other panel as well. Alrighty guys, it got too dark last night, but it's all in. Still need to fix it in properly, but got the drawers here. That one there. Got the sub in the middle. Storage. 12-volt setup will be in there. And I've just bought some more stuff there to cover in this middle section of the speaker here, just to make that look a bit nicer. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I just bought this as well for $10 at Bunnings, which is this little battery operated LED lights. So I'll sit that battery pack with the controller on the inside of this shelf, and I'll figure some way of mounting them in there. Alright, I just finished hooking the lights up. Now I'm just going to cover it with some of the plastic. Alright, so I've just cut some of this plastic stuff up. Just got that from Bunnings for about $20 a sheet. And then I've got some of these little black screws that I'm going to chuck in to screw it in and cover that. And then tape. I'll tape the edges of this just to tidy it up. Alrighty guys, I just finished chucking that in. It's come up awesome. I don't know if I'll keep the tape there, but it's just a little trial. I'll find something else that looks a bit neater. But the Perspex works awesome. Just sort of makes the light go the whole way around.